Hey guys, I just wanted to put some commentary over the winning run here and just kind of express some thoughts and feelings I have after having to deal with this absolute hellhole that I willingly put myself through because, I don't know, I love myself or something. Um, okay. So, I do think that this mode, I want to refrain from saying it's not that bad because it took a very unreasonable amount of time for me to beat. I think a lot of that problem stemmed from my very poor precision with my mouse, though. I don't really play computer games all that often, so having to aim well with a mouse is just not something that apparently I'm very good at. I think for like a third of the runs that I played were lost to Bonnet, or just me spending so much time in the camera trying to switch from camera to camera that I would like burn through my everything, and I just will obviously die because of it due to the power constraint. But I guess over repetition and over time I started to get better at that, and even in this run it's not great, but it's still better than nothing, at least I think so. I was also recording this off of Streamlabs, which I did not realize was so shit. The game itself ran perfectly fine, but for whatever reason it slowed my mouse down, making it really difficult for me to aim anyway, on top of my poor precision, so I just got completely cooked because of it. And then my files started getting corrupted, and that's when I switched to OBS, and that's when the game started running so much smoother, and my mouse started actually running better too, and then I could actually start aiming. But this was also my first run of the day, and if I'm being completely honest with you, I think it was extremely sloppy, and I'm not really all that proud of it either. And I'm also shocked that it was the winning run, because I had so many runs prior to this, the other past like 2-3 days that I've been doing this, that were just so much better technically wise and power wise, that just weren't successful. One run I had 5 a.m. at like 17%, and I ended up opening the door like a fraction of a second too early before Ballora left, and then I ended up getting killed because of that. In comparison to other max modes in the series, I do think that this version of this mode is probably the hardest in the series. Fnaf 1 definitely isn't up there. I think it's honestly considerably harder than 50-20, and I guess that's not really saying much because I don't really think 50-20 is all that difficult. I think the only one that gives this a run for its money is probably Fnaf 2 10-20 mode. But even then, I do think this tops it by at least a little bit. I think the biggest problem here was maybe Ballora, just given that how many times she came and how long she stayed was it was an unknown variable and it was an uncontrollable variable. And it ended up costing me many, many runs because of it. I think second problem for me was just Bonnet, just because of how bad I am with a mouse, but that's really just a skill issue on my end. If you see right there with the top left vent, I got a strategy for Bidybab because they were taking just way too much power having that door closed. So if you just spam it up and down, eventually, obviously, they'll leave, and you generally won't waste quite as much power. You still burn a lot of power, a lot more than I wish you did, but I guess that's just kind of how it is. Usually when I play this mode, I don't know why, because I'm honestly quite good at it, but I always get extremely anxious and extremely nervous at the end here, just because I'm always so afraid of like misclicking or misplacing my mouse, or just doing like a minor little mistake that will cost the run. And due to that, I get then extremely nervous. But for this run right here, I actually wasn't nervous at all. Mostly because I kind of thought it was hopeless. As I was running behind here. As you're about to see in a second here, I hit 5 a.m. at like 15%. And I really thought that it was completely Jover. I had no hope, so that's why I wasn't nervous, because I didn't believe in it anyway. But I ended up getting extremely lucky, you'll see in a second here. But I guess that's the majority of what I have to say. There's a link in the description that has a list of every other victor. I am by no means the first one to do this. I am like, I don't know, the 30th, 40th, something like that. So many people have beaten it before me, and congrats to them. Good work. This shit sucks, but I'm happy to be included onto the list now that I've had this done. There will also be a link in the description that will have the link to the mod that I downloaded to get this. So if you also love yourself, you can also try it. But yeah, that's about that. As you're about to see here, I ended up running out of power with like 9 seconds remaining. And I just ended up getting really, really, really lucky here. Yeah, and that's that. Deep down, I don't feel like it's that ridiculously bad, but I don't know. I won, and that's what matters to me. I can rest, I can sleep at night now. I will admit I had trouble sleeping because of this, due to how many times I got so goddamn close and then lost. So I couldn't quit. I couldn't quit until I beat it, and I beat it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching. Please like for my suffering. If you want me to suffer again, subscribe. I will happily suffer again for your amusement, and because I also kind of like suffering. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.